Hello, and welcome to RIME Entertainment Showcase with your hosts, Rita and Mel.
Hi guys, welcome to RIME Entertainment Showcase, second episode in June.
Second episode.
Okay, so we're not going to go really into too much of our intro, just the fact that we are celebrating 1 year since RIME Entertainment Showcase launched. So the month of June 2020, although of course we know that it's not been a great 2020 so far, however, there is room for some celebration. At least, we've still made it in for a year of our show, and It's been amazing.
And we're constantly inspiring you, I hope, with these great interviews. And we've got a great one lined up for you today. Mel, tell them all about it.
Right, so Jenna Suru, she is an award-winning director. She's a writer, a producer, an actress, and just an amazing human being overall.
Yeah, really is.
You're going to hear so much about her latest movie, which is L'Âge d'Or.
The Golden
Age, yeah. And all about her journey into being in the film industry, her launch of her company, Belle Époque, and also just about her transition from being in France, in Paris, moving to London, going to LA, the 35 locations that she's filmed in for her latest film. I can't. There's just so much that we've learned.
Watch the interview.
Okay, guys, watch the interview,
and we'll be back after. Bye.
Bye. Guys, welcome to the second part of the show. We are speaking to Jenna Suru from France. She is an award-winning director, writer, producer, actress, and an amazing female that we need to get to know for this second show of June. So welcome, Jenna. Welcome to RIME Entertainment Showcase.
Oh, hi, Mel and Rita. Thank you so much for this brilliant introduction. I'm glad to be on your show. Thanks so much for having me.
Oh, you're welcome.
Pleasure to have you. So, where did your passion for being in the film industry come from? And just tell us about your journey coming into the film industry.
Sure. Oh, it's actually, I'm really thankful because I can't really remember exactly when my passion started, because I feel I've been in love with films like forever. However, I do remember when I was really, really young, like a child, I did enjoy film, but also art in general. So I wrote a lot, even when I was really young, like around 8 or 10, I started writing. I started acting when I was about 8, so taking mostly theater classes. So this is how it started. And I always loved art in general, not just writing and films, but also music and even paintings. I was really interested in art. So this is how it started. I took some theater classes at the time. And after the years, I was advised that if I was really interested in cinema, because where I took some classes at the Cours Florent in Paris, I also took some classes with cameras. And they really advised me to also try Los Angeles, because obviously it's a wonderful city for cinema. Yeah. So when I was able to do it, I did go, and I would say it's one of the first steps that was really important for me as a filmmaker, because there I studied acting, but as an actor, I had some fantastic teachers who also taught me about marketing, directing, producing, even makeup, like literally everything, all the departments. So that was a really important stage for me. I really committed to become a filmmaker. And also a second really important stage for me was when I was still finishing my studying at business school, and I moved to London. And this is where I was working in TV as studying. I wanted to work. And also this is when I really was inspired by British filmmakers. They really think out of the box. They come up with such innovative solutions to make your films, and also in the art form. And so this is when I opened my company, which is a French feature film company when I had just moved to London, and it's called Belly Park Film.
Amazing.
Wow.
That's
That's a journey.
That's a real journey.
Right.
I mean,
Thank you.
in terms of your, just kind of again moving slightly off topic, in terms of you coming into London and building from that, what was that like being in London? Of course, it's quite different from French culture, especially Parisian culture as well. How was that for you?
It was absolutely inspiring. Moving to London for me, it's been a huge. It's made a huge difference in my life. I think it's really because this city is very advanced in terms of culture. Paris is really advanced in terms of culture, but I think really Paris and London really compete with each other because London has. I met such wonderful filmmakers, and I was very inspired by the startups there. I remember when I moved, I immediately went to this event. I met a lot of entrepreneurs, so it kind of immediately inspired me. I would say the filmmaking industry in the UK is really inspiring because all these filmmakers, they really come with ideas to make the film in very different way. They really think out of the box. So this is how I really see an opportunity because I was working in TV, finishing my studying, and I had the opportunity to co-produce 2 short films. One is called The Bigger Picture. It stars Robert Sheehan, who at the time was very famous because of Misfits, and today also because of the Umbrella Academy on Netflix. He's such a fantastic actor. And our DP was Oscar nominated. And the other film was Speedball, that was financed mostly by the Northern Ireland Screen. And also I was producing a theater play, a premiere in LA of Robert Kesley's book called Happy, and it sold out. So I kind of seen an opportunity. I felt very inspired. I already had worked at top distributors in France who are Gaumont and S&D, M6 Group. Okay. So I think I just felt ready. In a way, it kind of all came together. And I knew that these first projects were really important to start off my company. And it worked really well. The show also sold out. It had great reviews in LA. And so this is how it started 5 years ago.
I'm speechless. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Well, I just wanted to ask, in terms of LA, like, how was that different? Because a lot of, you hear a lot that in the US, they're very think out of the box as well. So, and you hear that sometimes in the UK, we're quite closed-minded compared to the US. So, but, obviously in terms of filming, your experience has been different. In LA, was that quite similar to London, or was that very different?
Oh, I would say probably all industries are different from a country to another. Yeah. So this is why I was, as you say, I was really lucky. I felt ready to discover those different industries because I would say they're different. And I'm really inspired from the best of each of these industry. In LA, I was just amazed by how professional and how challenging the industry is, because obviously, for instance, in LA, if you want to become an actor, you do have a lot of roles, yes, but you also do have a lot of competition because all the actors go kind of. So this is why what I really appreciated there is that we were really taught to be the best at everything, and not just the performance, because I really learned a lot from LA in terms of performing on camera, for auditioning on camera, also to market yourself. I really appreciated that, but also you really learn from the other departments like directing, producing, and not just films or features, but also sitcoms, TV, soaps. So like literally, I had already some experience from France, from studying in France. I think it really made a big difference for me in LA because I could see the whole picture of the industry kind of. It really helped. So I would say every country is different just because of the atmosphere of the city in the first place. LA is like a huge industry, it's really big. What I like in London is that I feel some filmmakers really have very interesting artistic ideas, and also it's like we all know each other. Like it's so funny how we kind of all have, like, I'm sure if we check on Facebook we have so many common friends, and it's like it's incredible. I really like that.
Oh, that's perfect. No, thank you for that. It's like I said, it's just it's mind blowing. So going back to Belle Epoque, in terms of when you created this in January 2015, what's the mission and vision of Belle Epoque as a whole? Are you able to go into that a little bit?
Yes, thank you so much. It's actually really interesting because at the time I was only 23. So I thought probably I would open the company and probably I would close it 2 years later, like so many companies, or I would change it. But I'm actually quite amazed to see how true it is. And let me tell you indeed why. At the time, I was so inspired by Gaumont and the amazing teams I worked with at Gaumont, Ascendi, and all over the world, at least in these three cities. I I really wanted to inspire from the three cities. So I wanted to create a very independent cinema to change the world. Because we can talk about this a little later with the golden age, but I really believed I really believe as artists we have a responsibility because we have an audience. We have a responsibility to make this world a better place. At least even if it's just a small step, it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
So I was really committed to that. So this is why when I opened Belle Epoque Film, it was really important for me that the company would remain very independent. So independence is very important for me.
Yeah.
Also connecting audiences from around the world. So probably focusing on projects which have a real international potential. So it just promotes tolerance and also just makes better projects, because even if it's challenging to work together, it actually comes up with great ideas, and a really international message which speaks to different audiences. So I think it was an important start. What added up to that, and this is where it also became really important, is that as soon as EcoProd was created, we signed their chart. So eco-friendly shoots from the very beginning was something really important for me as a filmmaker. And it's something today we are really starting to be aware of and starting promoting. But at the time, until now, I feel it's, for many productions, it's not been a priority. But for Belle Epoque Film, independence, eco-friendly shoots and making of your film in general really were a priority. And the goal really is to bring the top projects which really can change the world, and that really gathers audiences and teams from different countries.
That's amazing. That sounds great. So inspirational.
Yeah.
I can't get that word out of my mouth. It's just inspirational. That's no. Thank you so much for that story. And again, from such a young age at 23, it's very easy to say, okay, get swayed into something else or a different journey, or just say, oh, actually, or again, changing the name of the company, making something a bit more commercialized, or part of again not being independent. But the fact that you remained independent and stood strong, this is something that everyone should basically pay attention to, because again, this is about keeping that dream alive, and you're doing it, which is beautiful. Yeah, absolutely beautiful.
Yeah,
great.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, the logo didn't change. Even our little log line, like "Live Your Golden Age." Even the golden age is actually the title of the film. And yeah, I think it speaks to us. And especially with what's happening this year in 2020, I think it's important to promote it. Yeah, support it.
Yeah, definitely. So, talking of inspiration, what inspires you when you write and produce? Like, what is it you're looking for? Is there a particular niche that you're drawn to, or?
Absolutely, yes, indeed. I would say what inspires me. Well, I really stay in touch with the market. So I've worked for Canceres since first edition, and I'm also the director of the Paris International Film Festival. Yeah. And I'm thankful that from my distribution background, I always inspire from the audiences. What are they willing to hear, and what is good for them? What is really exciting for them to hear? In terms of very artistic inspirations, what's good too is that to stay in touch with the market, I attend as many festivals as I can, because I think it's really inspiring to just meet other filmmakers in the first place is really good and really inspiring. Also, obviously, watching their films, and I think it's really important to see what's going on the market. Also, in terms of really artistic inspiration, I inspire a lot, not just from other films, but also from music a lot.
Yeah.
I'm a big, massive fan of music and even painting. Because I think, when you see a film, you can inspire from it. But I think it's interesting to bring over art forms, because for me, it's more easy maybe to listen to a song and transform it into something new. Whereas when you see something in a film, maybe you can copy it, but it's not so new, So I really like both a lot.
Yeah.
Yes, it's really it's the feeling in the heart, and I read a lot. So I really stay in touch with the world, like not only in festivals and markets, but really reading what's going on, reading the news, listening, and even paintings. I'm very touched by lights. So painting, usually it's pretty much what it is. One of my favorite paintings are the ones which are part of the Impressionist movement, because it's so like it impresses you.
Yeah.
That's the right word,
Yeah, exactly.
Monet.
Yeah.
All these, I think, even in terms of cinematography, you really can get very inspired and also learn a lot from paintings.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think it also shows how it all blends into one. Where you've mentioned that you're inspired by films and music and art, and it just shows that whole creative genre that we're in really you can just pull out so much, and still be inspired by all of it. So that's beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. Yeah.
That's absolutely true, because in a film, as you say, there is cinematography, there is music, there is sound, there's everything, even makeup. Like, it's, as you say, it's kind of like it adds up so many different art forms when you think about it. So this is why I love cinema, I think, because I love art in general. So it's the way to kind of put everything together. It's really inspiring.
When you mentioned about music, one of the things, like, for me that gets my creative flow going is more or less when I listen to film scores or when I listen to classical music, there's just something that comes out and you just feel like, I don't know, it's just a feeling rather than, rather than something like, oh, I can do something with this. No, it's just you feel it, and then therefore you want to create to it, or it just takes you on another journey. So I totally resonate, understand where you're coming from.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I agree. I think we're many to love music too. Music is so, for me, music, listening to music, it's a bit like being in love, It's joyful. It's really moving. I love music too. I'm glad to hear that. We're music lovers.
Perfect. Great. Lovely. Okay, so let's move on to the golden age. Tell us about the golden age. What is it about? And talk to us about the whole journey and the locations you went to. Please, I'm so excited to hear about this.
Oh, my pleasure. Yes, I could speak about it forever. Yes, you're right. The location. So the golden age, it's a pure drama set in the 60s. It's a love letter to these villages that changed my life forever, that are Saint-Tropez and Ramatuelle. We also see Paris and LA. It's all set in the 60s, and it tells the story of this theater actress that I'm in the film, because as you mentioned, I'm also acting in the film. And in the 60s, she acts in front of empty Parisian seats in theaters. And she doesn't really fit in this world. She's a very modern woman, and she meets this Franco-American producer who fled the Vietnam War to Paris. Wow. And together they decide to change the world, but they end up in a very small village. However, this village is Saint-Tropez, and this is where it all happens. So it's about the artistic journey.
That
sounds awesome. I mean, what was obviously you were awarded, is it Best Director Feature? I mean, your own personal journey with that film, what was that? Can you sort of share a bit of that personal journey with us?
Oh, yes, please. Yes, indeed. As you say, it was awarded Best Female Director Feature Film at LIF, where the film, The Golden Age, opened the festival, and it sold out, and it was brilliant just before the lockdown. It really caught with the situation we're living now. And it was also awarded Best Feature in the US and many nominations. And it's been a wonderful journey. When I wrote the film, I was about 24. I was so excited to share with the audiences the excitement, the joy, the inspiration of 60s Saint-Tropez, because it's such a magical village. Even until now, Tropesians do such a wonderful job to protect the village, also in Ramatuelle. And actually, there is this amazing writer who wrote this book called Épiplage and contacted me, and I was so moved by his book. I read it this week, and when I started it, I couldn't drop it until the very end, last word, because this place is a very famous place which opened in Ramatuelle in the 50s. And it's so like Saint-Tropez, because it's the whole Bay Area is really famous. It's so all like the greatest artists you can imagine, from the US to the UK. Even Claude François would go there to sing as he was unknown. And what is really amazing about these villages is whether you're very famous or on the rise and about to become a huge star, it didn't matter. You could be blue, red, white, black. You could be famous like hell or just super unknown. But if you were nice, if you're authentic, if you're talented, passionate, you can make it. And this is why these villages, not only are they super moving because you see the sun, the light, the people, it's so authentic, but also because of just Tropesians and the people from the villages, there's such a special atmosphere. It's very artistic. This is why they all felt really inspired, and they really appreciate being anonymous. So I was really excited to share this world with the audiences. And also there's a second inspiration for the film, as at the time, and it actually echoes a lot with what's happening now, but I was so angry at this world. I remember I felt I was 24, I wanted to direct, and I felt it's so difficult, like no one helps. It's really difficult to break in this industry, especially as a young female, as I'm sure you can imagine. And I was like, Jesus, what a crazy world we're living in. I was reading the news, and this is why when during LIF, like the pandemic was just about to lock us down, and it echoed with what we were living in such a big way, and even more now with Black Lives Matter. And it's actually just the echo of what is said in the film, this world turning crazy, because in the 60s there were similar violences, and people were just tired of a war. They just wanted change, just like a lot of people now, I'm sure. And these are the two inspirations that really inspired the Golden Age. And about the artistic journey, it's so rich, because we're the last drama which ever filmed at Notre Dame Cathedral, and now we are basically living in this world today, like the huge echo of the anger I had in my heart at the time, but I'm sure many people shared. So it's really special.
And you do see it when you look at things in history, especially even when you look at in the 60s as well. I mean, we've been watching a lot of documentaries about the 60s, I'd say within the last couple of months. And where you said it's no different in a way. We're still kind of going through these trials and tribulations, if it's race or whatever it is, even trying to make it within certain industries, women and men, looking at, gender differences. We're still going through this as as we are today. It is crazy, but also those frustrations get lifted. But when you create movies like this, that you're going on this journey, you're making these thoughts change as we view these documentaries, films, or that's highlighting a lot of these moments of times where you do question things. So it's great.
That's so very
on from that, we kind of touched upon being female and within the film industry and trying to make it. Can you talk to us a little bit more about what is that like, especially when you're going into directing, producing, and even trying to build your own franchise in the movie industry?
As a female?
As a female.
I think it's I think first it's very important to do it as a female, because the more females we'll have as producers, directors, the more we will have. And it's very important, because for now we're still very minor, like we're not many. I think it's 3% female directors. It's just incredibly low. So I think first it's important to do it. And it's a responsibility, because it's important, I think, for us females to show what a wonderful job we can make as a director. I would say I feel really happy also that I remember I have this dear friend in the US, in LA, and 5 years ago when I opened my company, I met her a little bit after, like about 6 months later. It was during the premiere of Happy, the play I mentioned, and she opened her company, and she told me the reason why she opened her company is because she met me, because she told didn't think that as a 23-year-old female I could do it. And I was like, this is all it is about. It's like, until you meet someone who does it, you don't trust it, because if you don't see anyone doing it, why would you trust it for yourself? It's such a reflection. And I think as a director, as a female director, I understand now how much of a big responsibility it is, because I understand that if people see me in this role, it will be more easy for the other females later. And I realize really the biggest difficulty for it is actually, it's really not about us. It's just probably male insecurity, because males also have a lot of pressure, what we don't necessarily feel. Maybe I would say if you're a male director, for instance, people would be more inclined to trust you. But then you also have a lot of pressure. Whereas the thing I kind of enjoy is that as a female, they don't necessarily believe it. So at least they don't have expectation. So when this is, it's so, so when you actually make it, I think this is interesting. I think we're probably subconsciously, as females, we don't necessarily brag, or we don't necessarily think, because we're so few of us. There's so few of us, only 3%. We don't think it's own. So for instance, I started so young. I started to act. My first internship was at Panavision. I wanted to touch all the cameras. I wanted to know about the cameras. I wanted to learn how to write. I wanted to work at top distributors. Like, I was so eager I thought at least I'll just learn as much as I can. And I realized how much it helped me, because just always trying to be better and improving, I ended up knowing maybe a lot more people. And I was like, this is really exciting, because at least when I'm in the place, when I'm at the right moment, I know what I'm talking about. I have experience to talk about this. And I realized the biggest barrier is probably male insecurity. Because if you see a woman if you're an older man seeing a younger female making happen what you never achieved yourself, it's very uncomfortable. And we also project on them a lot of those insecurities, because we have expectations. So it's really not just about, I think, us as females really making it happen. It's really double-edged. It's really complex. And I think the only solution is really to keep supporting each other, support female filmmakers, support everyone, so it becomes a little more what we could say normal, I hope, because we're really good directors. Females can be really good directors.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think what I love about that, I mean, you've touched on a few things there that is what I want to pick up on, is the fact that, it is important that we keep inspiring each other to actually go in and make it happen and live our dreams. And I think that's why we do the show, so that people can actually see inspiring people like yourself who are actually doing it, who are saying, no, we're just going to go ahead and see what happens. And also, I love the fact that you were open to learning so much. And I think that's what is the beauty of it, is that you were just saying, I'm going to try this, I'm going to try that, and see what happens and see where it takes me. And also you're learning in the process, and I guess you get to know what you like and what you don't like, so you're continuing to grow, which I think is beautiful. And I think it keeps you inspired as well, doesn't it?
Very inspired. And I love that as a director. This is why I love directing so much, is to be able to have a very sensible conversation with all the heads of department, the DP, the production coordinator, the head of makeup, the head of hair, because especially for a pure drama like The Golden Age, Last Door, every detail is important. And I think also it's probably how you own respect, because as a director, it's true. It's like you should bring the best out of everyone. And to be able to do this, you need to be able to talk with them about what they do and really have a very sensible conversation and make them understand you want them to grow, you want them to just achieve their biggest dreams, and also just make this great art piece together. And for that, you need to know about what they're doing. You need to know about what's their maybe their problems or the issues, what they face, so you can really together, this is how the creative collaboration all together just makes this great common project happen. I think it's really exciting.
Yeah, it is. And what I love about this is that I can hear this passion in you as well, and it really comes across. And I know for a fact that the viewers watching this are really going to be inspired and just driven. So I
it's doing that to us.
It's doing that to us.
Thank you. Oh, I'm so excited. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's very contagious passion, right?
Yeah, exactly. The fact that we're so many miles apart, you know, virtually, we can still channel this drive and energy. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. That's awesome. I absolutely love it. Thank you so much. It's the magic of cinema.
Yeah, it is, absolutely. So you touched upon a little bit about how much you love directing. Do you also, what is your take on the acting side of it as well? Do you have a preference of being on screen or behind screen?
Oh, wow. I love both. I think I probably take different things out of them. I would say for me, acting is a little bit like breathing. I love just understanding the characters because I love humans so much. And so I try to prepare as much as I can. So when I prepare for my character, I really try to understand what she wants, what's her relationship with the rest of the characters, how maybe she behaves, what's her past. And I think at the end of the day, because of this prep, I kind of I like to rehearse as much as I can when I can, just to know also, obviously with the Golden Age I could do that a lot because I also directed, so I could choose that, but we really knew as actors where the frame would be, where we can move. And I think all this preparation time for sure really helped us to be really free during the filming because we knew exactly what we could do. We knew we could stand then and then sit or not do these things, and it really brought something in the filming which was really magical because when we were there, it really came out of us. And this is why I kind of appreciate that a lot, because it feels like when you're acting, when I'm acting, I really feel my character, and it's really wonderful to see the world through your character's eyes, because it's like you live a life you would never live in other circumstances.
Yeah, you get
I think it's a big takeout for sure. I think it's very different from directing. Directing is it's a very long process, and actually the Golden Age is not such a long process. Everything came out very not naturally because it's a lot of work, but it really put together because I think everyone really was so passionate by the story. It just happened. But I think it's different because as a director, you see your baby film from the very beginning and you promote it until the end. It's really part of your life. Like I'm sure at the end of my life, it will remain something important, like something that really was with you on your journey as an artist, which is really exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. So in total for L'Âge d'Or or Golden Age, for those that can't speak any French, how long did the whole project take to get from the concept to actually seeing it on screen?
So I started actually even writing it was like a screaming from the heart. It didn't take so long. I started writing when I was late 24, so I remember it was around Cannes in 2017, and a year later we were filming. Actually 6 months later we were already filming the scenes in LA. And then we filmed, and imagine 35 exceptional locations, so there were so much prep. But I think for the past 3 years I haven't slept much, so probably this is why lockdown is doing a lot of good on me, because now at least I can sleep, That's probably why I'm taking it really well. But yes, it was just amazing. But it's also like it's this type of projects you love it so much. When you start, you spend your nights on it. It's just so exciting. But really, it was actually really fast when I reflect on it, because I wrote it. 6 months later, we were even less filming the LA scenes, and 8 months later, we filmed the film. Then we immediately started editing it, then sound and color grading, and all the process and all the team has been so incredible. Like each step of making the film was so exciting. and so different, because working with the editor, working on sound, everyone is different, and this is how it's such an exciting team and universe to be part of. Then, so about a year in post-production, maybe slightly more, we got the quality control, and we premiered in Massachusetts slightly later than a year after filming, which is actually not a long time at all for an hour 47-minute film. And so we were so thankful for the wonderful premieres we had. Like in the US, we were awarded Best Foreign Feature, so much press, so many great reviews, just wonderful connection with the audiences. And then we opened LIF in March and were awarded there and sold out, and it was wonderful too. So we're very, very thankful. Yeah.
Sounds like a roller coaster.
It's
Emotion.
Yeah.
emotions,
Yeah.
excitement, overwhelming.
Yes, it really is like that. It's never stops.
No, that's great. What was that moment like when you got that award for Best Female Director?
It felt like a very big achievement. I felt very thankful. I think when I received it, we've always believed so much in the film, obviously, because we were so committed. And I've always believed in the film so much. This is why, even if there were many barriers, as we can imagine, and it was so difficult, I was so committed. I had no question. I knew this film wanted to be made. And see what happened with Notre Dame, what's happening now. So, but when it actually happened, and you actually open LIF, which is a 10-day, and a really established 10-day festival, you open LIF, you're multi-awarded. It feels really, really good, because I'm so happy the audiences appreciate what I wanted to show them. It's very exciting atmosphere with the music. I think about also the tributes we've given, like Notre Dame Cathedral, because we all were so moved to film there. So now it's become a big tribute. So it's very touching our hearts. I also think about all the females, or even any talent from diversity who maybe didn't have as much luck as me, or didn't have the courage at the moment. And I really hope with the film, they will find the courage, not just because behind the camera I had so many roles, but also because the story in the film is a tribute to them.
Yeah.
L'Âge d'Or is a tribute to all artists, not only those like the Beatles or so many more who really changed the world, as we know now with history, but also all who tried, all who try.
Yeah.
And it's
We
a
hope
film
you
about
enjoyed the
support.
show.
It's a
Stay
film
tuned
about
for more
friendship
RIME
and how much
Entertainment
support we need to
Showcase.
change this world, because change is really difficult.
Yeah.
And Saint-Tropez is this place which is so magical, because they supported me and so many more. And it's such a huge modern hub of inspiration. Even in the 60s, it was before globalization. Artists were already coming from everywhere. And it didn't matter how big you were or small you were. They were all playing guitar, writing. It's a very important tribute. So I feel very achieved, very happy. But I also know there's a lot more to achieve. And I want to support other artists who also try to bring change through their own stories.
Amazing. Yeah.
See, we're lost for words.
We are lost for words.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so touched. Thank you. Yes, I understand.
Like as if I'm living all of this through. I know we're just having a short conversation, but the way you describe it, the way you go into it's like
journey, isn't
yeah,
it?
I'm actually feeling that journey from you. And yeah, this is something that, again, you know, females and those that are really trying to make it, I think you are definitely that inspiration that they need to listen to, and they need to see
Thank
this.
you.
And everyone go and watch The Golden Age.
Yeah, thank you. Yes.
Watch this movie.
So speaking of everyone going to watch it, where can everyone find out more information about you and follow you and watch the film?
Yeah, how can we watch the movie?
Yes, thank you so much. Please, yeah, thank you. Actually, the Golden Age will be represented by our distributor on Cannes Virtual Market later this month. So yes, it's really, please get in touch with us. I always love to hear from filmmakers, from anyone who like the 60s or the music. So to follow us and to be updated about the Golden Age, you can follow us on Instagram, @l'Âge d'Or Film, also Facebook, Twitter. On Instagram, I'm under Jenna Suru, and also we have company website for Belle Epoque Film, www.belleepoquefilms.com.
Perfect, amazing. Don't worry, we're going to make sure we plug this. We need all that support there.
Yeah.
And this has just been so amazing. Thank you so much for this.
Yeah. We just have
thank
one
you.
question for you.
Yeah, one
Yes,
more.
sure.
Although we could continue for ages, but what's your final message out to the viewers who are maybe considering a career in film? What would you say to them? They may be sitting on the fence and thinking, I don't know if I can do it.
Yeah.
What would you say? What would your advice be?
I would tell them, if you feel it's difficult, and if you think sometimes also, oh my God, this world is turning crazy, and actually now I'm afraid it really is, I would say you're far from the only one, and you will find support in the people that are ready to support you. So the golden age is about this. The golden age is a tribute to you. It's a tribute to all of you, all of us who fight, who struggle to find inspiration, to just make their dreams happen, make their projects happen. So please follow us with the golden age. And also, we are having Paris International Film Festival in the heart of Paris, this city which is so inspiring also, and also really big for cinema. And we will help you. So we promote and we highlight on a very positive cinema, female-led, eco-friendly shoots, diversity, positive messages, international teams. We will help you. We are sure that because we have already so many great, amazing submissions, we're sure lots of you will have press and a lot of really positive things and the sales and everything, but we will also help you. We're doing everything we can, not only to project our dreams and our dreams for change through the golden age and in the films, but also in reality, we are making a lot of efforts to just push you. So if you're press and you want to be on the media list, please contact me. If you're a filmmaker and you want to submit your films, please do and contact me if you'd like to. If you're a friend of filmmakers, please spread the word and support them, because support is very needed. And in the world we live in today, we really need this support to bring change. So please be in touch.
Amazing. Yeah, thank you. See, I know everyone loves Paris, but I knew there's a reason why I really love Paris. It's because of things like this, being accepted and amazing, definitely. So thank you so much, Jenna, for being a guest today.
Thank you.
It's been such a great conversation. I'm speechless. I am just speechless.
Oh, thank you.
Never get speechless.
I mean,
yeah, but it's been.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm glad we met.
Yes, definitely. But thank you for being our guest.
Yeah.
And we need to speak soon.
Yeah, we'll speak
For sure. I'm sure. Yeah, merci.
We'll
Merci.
need to meet face to face at some point. So yeah.
Yes, I'm up for that.
Absolutely. Great. Thank you again, Jenna.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi everyone, welcome back. So, what did you think? Was that inspiring or what?
So inspiring. I can't think of any other words other than inspiring. Even in the interview, I kept saying inspiring.
It was
Excellent.
mind-blowing.
Inspiring.
It was
mind-blowing.
It was a journey. I felt that actually that interview was like us taking a journey with Jenna.
I actually felt myself being...
With Jenna.
Yes, I like that actually. But anyway, right. So, guys, getting back to it. Just watch the movie.
Yeah.
It's gonna come out soon, like towards the end of this month. We're heading into the again, end of June. Watch The Golden Age, or in French it'd be L'Âge d'Or. Watch it.
Yeah,
It seems to me that we're gonna learn a lot from this movie. It's already won awards. We've already, she's gone into the whole journey of how she made it, and the passion behind that, behind this journey, and also just the passion in general behind her filmmaking journey from such a young age.
It's been an inspiring journey.
Yeah, it's an experience, and
it's inspired us, and
absolutely.
I know
in case
that
you didn't realise.
and I know it's inspired you. And
Hashtag inspired.
yeah, and all we say is just take that inspiration. Don't sit on it. Don't just think about it.
Go do it.
Take it and go and do it, because as with many of our guests, that's what they're doing. They're just doing it. They're taking action on their dreams, and you can do the same.
And the thing is, it's about the difference in cultures, the difference in the way we look at things, gender, whatever it is. Don't let that hold you back. We're now at the time where this is more important than anything.
Yeah.
We've been through a pandemic together. There's a lot of things going on in the world that we've, all been part of. We've seen social media recently and what's been going on. This is our chance to take that positive step. Those positive steps to creating films or creating art or doing something that you're so passionate about that is going to blow minds and keep us connected as well. This is about now going out there, really showing your worth. And this is basically the inspiration I got from today, and the inspiration that we've got from this month alone.
And like we said in the interview, you learn from other people. So go out there and connect with other people, network, and get a mentor if you have to.
Tell us about your journey. Once you've made that choice, get in touch with us and let us know, what have you done since watching this interview? And we'd love to know about this. We'd love to know about this journey. And you never know, you might end up being a guest on our show, or showing our guest. No, a guest on our show.
But anyway, so we're going to end the show there because we could go on about this interview for a long time.
May I just plug in? Do not forget to follow us for more information. Again, I'm going to put on here the Instagram for Jenna Suru. So it's at Jenna Suru Real. You can also follow her on Instagram, Large Door, which again, you're going to get the description. Look at the description, get all the areas that you can connect with Jenna and you can connect with us. But anyway, what is our Instagram tag or handle?
At RIME Entertainment.
She doesn't know. At RIME Entertainment Official. At RIME Entertainment Official. I just put her on the spot there. That's great. Or you can also follow us on at sisters_in_rhyme. And how do we spell rhyme? RIME.
See, that's the bit. I like my little dance when you do that. That's my bit.
That's
your bit. Don't put me on the spot like that.
Okay, I won't do that anymore. I'll test it next time.
I'll sort her out.
Right, anyway, guys, that's us for it for June, and we'll see you in July.
Bye.
We hope you enjoyed the show. Stay tuned for more RIME Entertainment Showcase.